What's up, visionaries?
What's good?
Welcome to another episode of Visions of Love and Relationships. I'm Tanya, and
I'm Lamont.
And this is my wonderful husband,
Lamont.
And we hope everybody's doing well as usual. He messing up my intro. We hope everybody's doing well as usual. How has your week been thus far? We hope it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
Ours has been, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So far, so good.
Yeah, so far, so good. As you visionaries know, there has been a lot, or you might not even know, but there has been a lot going on with dating. And we had, before we get into our topic, we definitely got to get on this dating list that the so-called some women made that they don't want to go to, they don't want men to take them to on the first date. Man, when I seen this list, I'm like, we got to get in on this.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah, for real. The first place on the list, let me get to this list. The first place on this list is Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory.
Really? Now, I've seen the video of the Cheesecake Factory girl.
Yeah.
Who was appalled that she was taken to the Cheesecake Factory. And I'm just like, yeah, are you serious? We still ain't even been to the Cheesecake Factory
I ain't
yet.
even been to the Cheesecake Factory. Would like to go.
Yeah, that's crazy. Applebee's is number 2. I'm in there. I'm going to Applebee's.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Applebee's on the first date?
Nothing.
Chili's, 3.
Number 3 was Chili's,
Yeah, I go to Chili's.
Yeah, I like Chili's.
Yeah. Chipotle, however you say it.
Yeah, that's like a lunch date though. Chipotle, Chipotle would be like a lunch date.
Yeah, that ain't something that you would go to,
Yeah, on the date, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a quick, like a little upper fast food chain.
Yeah, because it's normally, when I go, it's normally packed.
Yeah.
It's normally a lot of people in there, so yeah, like an in and out little thing.
Yeah.
Olive Garden. I'm Olive Garden.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing wrong with Olive Garden.
Depends on what you're in the mood for on the first day too. That's I think that would be the key. It depends on what you're in the mood for. You might be in the mood for pasta.
Right. I kind of feel like to each his own, but let's keep scrolling. Let's finish this before we give our final thought. The movies. Okay.
Yeah, I see the movies.
For me, no movies on the first day.
You got to be quiet. You can't talk
I would
much.
be knocked out.
Yeah.
I would be sleeping. I feel like the movies is more for lovers.
Yeah.
Too, like, because the lights out, intimate,
Yeah.
I don't want to share no popcorn on the first date.
No.
No, okay, your house. No. No.
Yeah.
The house, no. I don't feel like a first date should be at nobody's house.
Living on list,
yeah, for obvious reasons. Okay. 8, any fast food chain. I mean, I understand nobody want to go to McDonald's, or nowhere like that. But again, to each his own. It's just gonna depend on a lot. But to each his own. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Number 9.
Yeah, what's wrong with Buffalo Wild? I love wings. I mean, I never been to Buffalo, like to sit in and eat, so I don't know if it's like a loud place or what, but.
So what you like? If you like wings, you might be like, yeah, let's go get some all-you-can-eat wings.
Yeah, I know it might be messy.
Yeah.
Wingstop.
Same as Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah.
Red Lobster.
I thought Wingstop was actually Pizza Hut.
Well, I think they do have like a little branch off. Yeah.
Pizza Hut fell off.
Red Lobster. I'm in there.
Yeah.
A buffet.
Yeah.
I can see why they wouldn't want, you don't want to be pigging out on the first day. Some women can eat.
Yeah.
Be pigging out the man like, what in the world?
The whole thing of crab leg.
Yeah.
Whole gallon bucket.
Uh-huh.
Like I said, it depends on what time you go. I mean, you might go to a late night dinner.
But why are you going on a late night dinner date on your first date?
You might just get
I
out
would,
work.
I would have to say breakfast or something.
The first day you might just be y'all might work third shift.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all work third shift. You're like, all right, let's go to IHOP or then that's when IHOP or somewhere.
Yeah, maybe to each his own, but IHOP to me is more like a breakfast date, or you know.
Yeah,
Then it's the same.
Yeah.
The gym. Why the hell would you go to the gym on a date? Church. First date.
No.
Not so much. Starbucks.
No coffee dates. Starbucks is then they got coffee date as number 18.
Yeah,
that would be the same.
17. Yeah. Ice cream dates.
Y'all
I
too
don't
big
see
for
nothing
that.
wrong with it. I like ice cream.
Yeah, I mean they do got some top of the line ice cream places out here. Like,
but I mean, you wouldn't.
It's not a date.
I don't see myself sitting down eating the ice cream. You know,
I mean, but
it's more of a going on a walk type.
But most
thing,
people do, so you might could go on. I can
sit
see
down
ice
on
cream
an ice
day.
cream
Yeah.
day.
I mean, you like ice cream? They be hooking them ice cream ball. They got mentions and all of them. So I actually can see an ice cream day. If they like ice cream, like some ice cream.
It might be a little exotic though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then you get to see them suck on the spoon.
Yeah, then that's why it ain't good. You don't want to see you sucking on that spoon, eating banana splits and stuff on the first date. So yeah, that might not be. Okay, family functions. Nah, that's a good one. You definitely don't want to do that. Movie night, that's the same. Yeah. But not unless they talking about at home. But I think the house is already on there.
In Honolulu, so you know what.
Hulu. Somewhere that requires a long drive. Nah, that's
keep it under 15.
Bowling.
Man, you can't talk. You can't. First date, you can't really interact with them on the first date on bowling and stuff.
Yeah, then you might have a competitive person that might get mad if the girl whoop their tail.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah.
Nightclubs. Nah, that's a good one. Hookah bars. I don't want to go to no hookah bar on a date. Period. Period. Pooh. A bar just for drinks. For just drinks. Nah. Not on the first date.
Nah.
Ain't no telling them might slip you a minute. The Waffle House. I like the Waffle House.
Not on the first. Like I say, it depends on what your first date. If your first date is at nighttime, like your first date you might do work. Like, but I can't go. But I do like to eat after I get off work. I can meet you for at 11 or 12. Y'all
so you would only do the Waffle House at night?
Yeah, not the first. I mean, if your first date breakfast.
But they got more than breakfast.
I go to Waffle House for breakfast.
Okay. And sports events, that's a good one. Nobody wants to be at a sport event on the first date anyway. Too loud. But for my final thought on this list, a lot of them I would go to. I mean, to
the first top go to the first ones though.
The first one was
like I said, the first little places is actually the entry level place.
Yes.
That's actually some of the first places you take a person on a date to.
Right.
You don't want to go out. You're not going to you don't start from the top.
And then go to the bottom.
Because if you go from the top, like you take the girl to someone want the expensive place, and you spend $150 on an expensive place, then what you gonna do next?
Right.
She gonna expect you to keep going up, and then you go up, and then all of a sudden you drop down. You're gonna look funny.
Right. And then not only that, she might be using you. Yeah. Shoot, I don't like this nigga. I'm just, excuse my language. I don't like him. I'm just going on a date with him. I know he about to take me to the most expensive restaurant.
Yeah. Once you put them expectations,
I don't really want him.
Once you put them expectations up there, you might not be able to drop them. You be looked at as funny. Like, now you're acting funny. You done took me here. Now you taking me here. What's up?
And what person would take somebody to the most expensive place on a first date?
That's crazy.
I think it's bananas.
Yeah,
and I think it's bananas for a woman to have that kind of expectation. Yeah. Like, where they do that I kind of feel like you just want to go to a fancy place because that's something that you can't do on your own. Yeah. I feel like a woman who could do that on their own wouldn't really worry about, too much about where they're going on the first date. Yeah, I understand something ran down and maybe fast food restaurants. You know,
And
I know people got certain standards, but come on now.
Yeah. And I actually think a lot of women that actually go out regular to these places like that, they actually do like the stuff. They go out there and they're like, well, I don't mind. I actually like the meat. You paying, so what better way? It's not about, you got to be careful where you put your first foot, because once you start putting your foot there, the expectations be leveled there. You can't go down from there.
Yeah.
So I believe, especially when you first date, the first date is to work your way up. The first date is a little mediocre place. So not no Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory.
Cheesecake Factory is the first date.
Yeah.
The first thing they got on the list, Cheesecake Factory, that's the first date. Then you work your way up to Ruth Chris. But every different places is different strokes. Like for where we at in our area, Cheesecake Factory is one of the top line restaurants.
Yeah.
There's a couple of more restaurants, but the more you get up there, they're like, the more expensive the restaurants get, the less quality of food you get.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay.
That's what. Look, that's actually something great to say. To hop into our topic.
The more you pay for the food, the less of the quantity of food. You might get a fancy looking plate, but when I go to a restaurant, I don't want to feel like I gotta go somewhere else. Gotta go home and eat something else after I'm leaving for a restaurant. I'm spending $150. Yeah, I feel like I done been robbed. I like to go feel like they done gave me a good portion of food for my money's worth.
Yeah.
Enough for you to take home. That's even better.
Yeah. And understandable. Yeah. So I just think that women, you know, if you thinking like you the queen of Sheba or something, that you need to go to a big high class. I mean, it's not about that when you trying to find a date. You know what I'm saying? What you trying to see where their pockets at. Just because they're not taking you to a top of the line place don't mean that they ain't got it. Yeah. You know, it don't mean that they wouldn't take you to a nice place. Like our
first date, when we went on our first date, it was a decent place. TGIF.
Yeah.
Yeah. First date.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite restaurant. And you didn't even know that, I don't think. But anyway, don't have your standards that down on high. I mean, because you might be missing on a good relationship that you could have had with this man, but you so worried about the meal and where he taking you on the first date.
And the first, like I said,
as long as it ain't nothing creepy or you know too out of your standards. I mean, don't ridicule the man for taking you to the Cheesecake Factory. I mean, come on.
And majority of people can't afford the lifestyle they live in anyway. So since our America, average people that's making over 6 figures living paycheck to paycheck. So the average people that act like they out here doing it, they can't really afford what they doing.
Right.
And that's the most thing probably is restaurants. Eating out. Eating out is a big expense that a lot of people take on when they overdo the eating out part.
Yeah.
So most people can't afford it. They can't afford nothing but Applebee's,
right?
TGIF,
right? Based
on the statistics of the stats and stuff. Yeah. So this list is bogus, man.
It is. I give the list a damn, thumbs down, and the women who made it.
Yeah.
Some of the things are, self-explanatory.
The bottom of it is, self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But the first restaurants, them are the starter dates, and you work your way up.
Right. And I'm glad my baby ain't taking me to that big, expensive restaurant that got a P on the plate with a little garnish on the top.
And they charge you $30.
He done paid more and I got less.
Like I said, when we went to Vegas, we paid over about $150 for that little bullshit buffet. We barely ate nothing.
Right.
We went off the block, off the strip, got us a nice little good old place, and it was under $40. And it was way better, more food, quality of food was good. So you don't know, just because you're paying more for the food doesn't always mean you're getting better quality.
Yeah, you're just getting the look. And most people who get the look, that's why they want to go to that restaurant so they can go on Instagram, get the look, Facebook, or Snapchat it that I'm here. I got him taking me here. You know, it's all for show. So let's get real. Let's get more intentional about dating. And I mean, let's do this. Yeah. All right, so our topic today is the more in relationships. Yeah. And that's actually a good deep topic. Okay. It's actually like the more that you put in doesn't mean the more that you'll get out, and vice versa. Yeah. Okay, so an example would be like balancing communication. Okay, so more talking doesn't always lead to a better understanding. Okay, it's the balance between speaking and active listening that's essential for a meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
So if I'm the person in our relationship that's always talking, why don't I try to work on being quiet some and actively listening and trying to get my spouse
to
talk more.
And sometimes your spouse might not be talking because you doing all the damn talking.
Yeah.
They ain't even had no room to talk.
Right.
Nor have you asked them what do they think. So a lot of times when we disconnect that balance in communication, when we communicate with our partner, we need to understand we need to talk less and listen more, or vice versa.
Vice versa. If you that person who always listening, you actively listen, maybe you should talk more.
Yeah.
You know, talk more, but never interrupt. You know, don't interrupt your partner. You know, the more you don't interrupt him, the more you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, the more the communication become better. Okay, so that's the more in communication.
Yeah.
And that's just a little bit. That's just touching the surface in communication. Okay, with the more. All right. So another example is like quality over quantity.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
In relationship, it's not about the number of interactions that we have, but it's more or less the quality of interaction that we have. Is it meaningful connection? Is it not meaningful connection? But the quality of the connection that we have is more meaningful than just having connections. Like we spend a lot of time together. We're in the house together all the time. We hear, but a lot of times in relationships, people tend to become roommates.
Yeah.
Because they stop spending quality time together. They just spend time together.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that time gets less and less because you're thinking the more we're in the house, but it's the more we're in the house together and we're not talking, we're not actively doing stuff.
Can I get that glitter? I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
And we're not actively doing stuff, then we end up growing apart.
Yeah. And not only that, we're spending a lot of time together, but we're not spending quality time, so we're not really getting to know
you're not really getting to know each other, yeah.
As a person, like, you know, you want to spend quality time. The more quality time you spend, the more you get to know each other. Yeah. The more you learn your partner's love language, the more you can ask questions. You know, it's just quality time. Okay, we can spend time a lot. Like we can spend time every day, but if we're not getting anything like accomplished in our relationship, like getting to know one another, or getting closer,
and that's done by quality time. That's why you find a lot that sometimes the man want to spend more time with his homeboy, and a lot of times that be the case because he's spending more quality time with them. He might be talking, laughing, and stuff, enjoying himself, but when he come with you, y'all time might not be so quality.
Right.
Y'all might be bickering and arguing, not really like laughing and talking and stuff. And the person whoever they spend the more time with, they're gonna connect with them more. They're gonna bond with them more. So if you find your partner not spending more time with you, it's probably because y'all just really not spending quality time. It's not quality to them. Maybe it's more bickering and arguing than actually talking. Maybe they want to maybe they don't want to talk. Maybe they just want to sit and be peaceful.
Right. Which
would equal quality time for them.
Yeah. And that's actually a part of the communication as well. Like if you communicate right to your partner, the more you don't bicker and argue to your partner, the more your partner would want to spend time
they want to spend time with you. So if you got somebody you don't like, you find them always leaving out or they don't want to be home, 9 times 10, somebody don't want to be home because the home is not peaceful.
Right.
Or they just don't want to be in the house. But either way, if that time is quality time and you drawing them back, like you showing them that you cherish that time y'all spend together, and you convicting them to stay home or convicting them to spend more time. Like I enjoyed the time we spent last week, baby. I enjoyed you being home last week. It really meant a lot. Little stuff like that, and they keep hearing it. They're gonna eventually want to give you that time that quality time that you want, because they recognize that you said it was quality time, you enjoyed it, and a man always want to be the hero.
Yeah, absolutely. And you also led with I.
Yeah.
I enjoyed you staying in. That really made me feel good. Instead of you saying you always out with your homeboys.
Yeah.
Why you can't never stay home? Instead of using you statements, you putting that I in it.
And I statements builds conviction.
It's positive.
And forces the person to change versus you using you statements, which causes nobody to change.
Right.
All it does is
point the finger.
And accusations leads to resentment.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody gets nothing done.
Yeah.
So the more you persist and you try to force somebody to do something that they don't want to do, is the more they're going to resist and not do what you want them to do.
Mm-hmm.
So the best way is convince.
Yeah. And another thing is avoiding overcommitment. Okay, so sometimes the more you overextend yourself to meet your partner's needs, the more likely you are to neglect your own, leading to the imbalance.
Yeah, and people pleasing.
Yeah, it's definitely best to have balance in anything, especially your relationship. So don't overextend yourself, okay, just to meet your partner's need. And then you're going to neglect your own. And that's going to build up resentment.
That's going to be up because eventually you're going to feel neglected.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when we doing it, the shoe don't go back to the other foot. So you doing all you can to make your partner feel good and comfortable, but yet they're not doing nothing for you.
Right. And then you get in your feelings and then you're going to say something like, I'm always doing something for you, but you ain't never, it's going to come out. All right. So don't overextend yourself. Don't neglect your partner, but don't neglect yourself. Don't do so much for your partner to where you ain't doing for you.
Yeah, keep it balanced.
Okay, it should always be balanced. Okay, so another one is emotional moderation. Okay, so extreme emotional reactions, whether it's positive or negative, can disrupt the balance in a relationship. And remember, we want to keep everything balanced. So strive for emotional moderation. That's key.
Yeah, don't really. And healthy relationships are actually built on 5-to-1 positive interactions. So that means you have more positive interactions than negative interactions.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be able to check out our course soon on that. So we ain't going to go into that too much. But the emotional moderation, don't be so emotional when you react, okay? Calm down, okay? Make that thing balanced.
Yeah.
Okay, another one is conflict resolution. More arguments don't necessarily lead to better conflict resolution.
Yeah. And nor does and I hear a lot of people saying like we have normal fights. Yeah, fights are normal in a relationship. But what people fail to realize is it's the repair part that we don't get right. So we can fight all day, but yes, that's normal. But when people don't repair those fights or come to a resolution with those fights, that starts to build up resentment. And resentment in a relationship is not normal.
Right.
It's normal to many where you come, but it's not normal for a healthy relationship.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. To make it a healthy argument, healthy fights are what's built in a relationship.
And it builds a relationship up because you're able to fight and you're able to see disagreements, but you're able to pull that relationship back into a loving state.
Right.
Versus keep that relationship hung over and this problem becomes a bigger problem. Right.
Yep, it just trickle down, make it like a rolling ball that's just building up.
Snowball
like
effect.
A snowball.
Yeah,
That's
snowball
it,
effect.
The snowball effect. So you want to make sure you just, handling your conflict resolution accordingly, okay? So the more you can come together again, communication is always in there.
Yeah.
The more you can come together, communicate, and not put Band-Aids on your conflicts, the healthier.
Come to a mutual agreement that works for best for y'all, that helps both of y'all, like that both of y'all feel good about coming to a resolution.
Yeah.
And it might not always, sometimes you got to lose the war to win the battle.
Absolutely.
You can't always win.
The more you come together, the more loving and healthy your relationships can be. And the more healthier fights you can begin to have, because you know how to handle that now. You know what I'm saying? So, and the antidote to the more in, in a conflict way, or really in anything, the more is finding balance. Don't just think because the more you do, the more the relationship gets better. It's not always that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just do too much
Yeah.
to where you're just doing too much. So it becomes the more the less.
Yeah.
Like the more you go out, the less, well, that's self-explanatory. What I was going to say, the more you go out, the less you get to.
But like I said, sometimes you can go out too much. Sometimes you can go out too much, and it becomes less quality.
Right.
It becomes like a routine.
Right.
And it becomes a mundane thing that you do on a regular basis. Like you can go out. You can go out. You go out, but all of a sudden y'all going out. Y'all been going out so much, and it becomes a routine habit. And now y'all go out. Y'all just talk on the phone.
Yeah.
Or y'all doing other stuff. It's just y'all just going through the motions of going out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're doing too much.
Yeah. And the more you do too much, you might keep doing too much. So then you're creating those patterns.
Yeah.
More patterns.
More patterns. Yeah. And if it's not good patterns, then it's a bad pattern.
Yeah. The more you create unhealthy relationships, and the more we're going to see marriages and relationships, serious relationships break up. So...
I think one of the most important things is to find balance, like talking about personal balance, talking about personal time. Like, what's needed in your relationship for you both to feel like healthy? Sometimes, like, you got to find, like, your partner might need this space.
Yeah.
So the more time y'all spend together, y'all got to find that right balance of boundaries and time and quality time so y'all can get the relationship stronger and not growing in the part where doing too much.
Yeah. All right. So make sure you're having mindful communication. Prioritize face-to-face talks, because text is good sometimes. But you can't see the face. You can't see the face through a text, so it's kind of like you might take something the wrong way that your partner was trying to say, and he or she didn't even mean it that way. Prioritize face-to-face talks more. Yeah,
because more texting in a relationship is not good. More texting in a relationship is actually bad. You need hear that voice. You need to hear your wife's voice or your significant other voice. That voice is needed, and it builds that connection. Every time you hear that voice, it builds that connection versus a text. You can't build that connection through text.
Right. And they can't like face-to-face conversations.
Yeah, no, the that phone takes a lot away the good old human connection.
Yep. So also make sure that you are practicing active listening. That's how we truly understand each other.
Yeah.
We have to actively listen to each other. So your partner talking, you ain't on your phone.
Yeah.
You listening. Yeah. And asking questions. What better way to let your partner know that you listening?
Yep. And like I said, another one of the best ways is to actually be facing your partner. So often we having conversations with our partner or significant other, we're not actually looking at them. We're not actually we like babe, we can do that instead of we can do that. And in the Gottman's book, he talked about the 7 habits of making marriage work, and one of them is turning towards your partner versus a way you looking away when you communicate. So that every time your partner saying something, here's a good way you get quality over quantity. Every time your partner says something, don't look at your phone. They just turn around and look at it.
Yeah, that actually does something to me. With you looking at me like that, I like it. So
every time you do it, guys, you got to get. This is quality time. This is considered little small acts of time, because sometimes you don't have much time during the day to get those quality time. So sometimes it's just as simple as when your partner says something to you, put down your phone, because it's a lot of times it ain't even number 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Or less than that, 30 seconds, a couple little seconds. You so busy you can't even stop for 30 seconds to put your phone down and look at them when they're talking to you.
Yeah.
We got to work on the quality, guys. Quality over quantity, and sometimes it's small acts. Bits by little, everything becomes a stitch.
Yeah.
A stitch.
Yeah. All right. So, visionaries, that'll wrap this one up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to wrap up, remember the more ain't always the answer in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's about balancing our personal space with shared time, nurturing individual well-being, and practicing mindful connection. Quality over quantity, like my baby just said, that's where the magic happens. All right, so visionaries, join us for more heart-to-hearts, more conversations. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share the video.
Yeah, and be sure to check out the book on Amazon and Audible.
Yeah.
It's the 7 steps to the start of your healthy relationship with healthy communication.
Absolutely.
And it starts from within. You love from the inside out. And that's what the book is about.
Yeah.
See
So
you
until next time. Ooh, the book tried to come on with you.
Try to
Get
go.
me, okay? Until next time, stay blessed and stay loving, visionaries.
And together, they built a life that they love.
But first, they had vision.
Yeah, they had vision, and together they built the life that they love.
Go build.
Go build. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for watching. Share,